Math 122. Here's video number 2 for the week 1 homework on linear models, y equals mx plus b. There was a first video that was on homework questions 1 and 2. This video is going to go on questions 3 and 4 for the homework. So if you check out the homework, you'll see question number 3 has a question about, just like this, about the insurance for a restaurant. I have this many guests, this much money, this many guests, this much money. Okay. I'm asking you to create an equation. Hey, guess what? Remember, y equals mx plus b. Well, before I start to solve it, let's also remember, hey, I'm going to change the numbers in the problem because you'll solve the actual one. I'm going to go through the methods. But whenever you see write an equation, when you're thinking linear equations, just make sure it gets recycled in your brain. Y equals mx plus b. That is the formula we are going to deal with. We've talked about before, hey, if slope goes for m, we've talked about intercept goes for b. That's all great, but if you read this story, there's nothing in here that talks about slope or intercept. Sorry about that. It's just giving us about guests and money. Okay, so we need to make sense of this. And in order to make sense of it, what we need to do is we need to find x's and y's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an x and y grid, and I'm going to try and, for lack of a better word, I'm going to decode the numbers in this problem. First ones I'm going to look at it right here. I say I have 600 guests, and that's $250 per month. That is an x and that's a y. How come this one's the x and not vice versa? Because the guests influence the money. So that this happens before here. So I'm saying guests influence money, x and y. X and y. Just like that. You can probably see that generating from that procedure, you can generate the second set of x and y's from this information, and ta-da, they're right in our box, and I'm just about ready to go. I'm just about ready to start using these numbers and getting my equation. How? If you check the lecture notes for this week's work about linear equations, you'll see this equation. And also some of you might say, oh yeah, I remember that from once upon a time in high school, or whenever you come across that before. M, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So I really just need to take these numbers, and there's my two y's, and plug them in up here. And you notice the second one, the 500, goes in front, and then the first one goes is the second part of the subtraction number. Similar play, we're going to do that with the x's. 1850 up front, 600 in the back. We've got an equation. Our calculator does some work, and you're going to get a fraction. I know some of you are going to say, oh, but I got a decimal. Try and get a fraction. I'm giving you numbers for this homework, which should reduce nicely. You'll get a fraction. You have a slope number, and it's going to go in for my y equals mx plus b. We're almost there, because remember, x and y are variables. They do not change. The b, we need to get a b. I've talked about before, b is the intercept. I've also said b is the starting value. Well, there's no starting value here. I don't say, hey, my insurance starts at this, or the base cost is this, or the initial cost is this. There's no words like that in the story. So what you're going to have to do to solve for b, you're going to have to take these two numbers, take an x and a y, plug in the x number here in the equation, plug in the y number here in the equation, and then you're going to solve for b. So you're going to take that 600 and 250, plug them right in, you'll do some math, and you'll solve for b. That's how you're going to be able to line it up, and you'll get a solution for 3. Number 4, I'm talking about a Nissan Versa, and somebody sent me an email. Well, this says Versa, and down here it says Civic. Okay, yeah, fair enough. There's a typo. I think I changed the version of the car. Hopefully you guys can see through the error. Let's say pretend it says Versa. Anyways, 2010 Nissan Versa. We got an equation. Here's the time since 2010. For part A, what was it worth when it was new? What does it mean to be brand new? It means the car is 0 years old. T equals 0. Guess what you're going to do with that T equals 0? You're going to plug it right into the equation. Put it right into the equation. Number 4, I'll be honest, if you get it through 1, 2, and 3, number 4 should be easier because it's plugging in. It's not making an equation. So new car, time is 0 years, plug it in, and you will solve. For part B, same equation, 2015, what's that mean? Well, it means my car's 5 years old. Guess what you do with that 5? You plug it in. The final part, on part C, you're going to plug in the V value instead of T. So it's vice versa. When we're doing part B, you'd plug in the 5 here for T. On part C, you will plug in for V, and you'll have to solve. I'm kind of waving my hands through these. The last one just saying, well, you guys will work through it. Just plug it in, and you'll get the answer. If you have more specific questions, or if, like I said, if the math is like, oh my goodness, what the heck, I think I'm missing something, please send me an email, and we can look through that with more detail. But anyways, these videos, hopefully that's a good resource to solve week 1's homework. I'll look for those submissions on Sunday night in Blackboard. We also have the discussion board, and we also have a student contract that I've been looking for. Any questions at all, please let me know.